the Radio Disney Award for the month of July, and all of a sudden I was Disney Teacher of the World. So that was very sweet, thank you. My name is Megan O'Keefe, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight to introduce my father, David O'Keefe. I want to thank Loyola Law School on behalf of my entire family for honoring such a wonderful person. I have to be honest though, his professional accomplishments are truly impressive, but they pale in comparison to his achievements as a father. Those of you who know my dad, he picked me because I don't cry at speeches. Those of you who know my dad already know that he has a wonderful sense of humor and loves a good joke. As his daughter, I luckily inherited this great personality, this wonderful sense of humor, and I too love a good joke. But there's a type of joke that I've never laughed at, and that is a lawyer joke. They just never resonate with me. I never think that they're true to what I know lawyers to be. The lawyer that I knew, that I grew up with, supports people through some of their most trying times. The lawyer that I know has the ability to connect with almost anyone, whether it be jurors, judges, even opposing lawyers love him. He even has a way with unconsolable, screaming babies. We call him a baby whisperer at home, and he has 11 grandchildren to do that with. The lawyer that I know doesn't mind board meetings, but would prefer a board meeting at San Onofre State Beach with his family, eating a server special, which is just salami and bread. That's all you need. The lawyer that I know takes tremendous joy from the law, but also from just being a father. And that's what I want to speak to tonight. Raising 6 kids could not have been easy. And yet, I do not remember a time where he ever raised his voice at any one of us in anger or frustration. And let me tell you, there was ample opportunity for him to do so, including the time that I came home with a dolphin tattoo on my ankle. My dad kept perfectly composed when seeing a light blue marine animal jumping on my pale white skin. My dad is way too smart for anger. He uses humor instead. I went away to college, and my mailbox was filled with postcards signed by a mysterious person named Flipper. These postcards really had a really familiar script, indicative of someone who had been dictating his notes to his secretaries and assistants his entire legal career. I also received several care packages that forced me to cross campus, hoping that it would be a wonderful care package for my mother, only to get packages filled with dolphin-safe canned tuna. I had to have the tattoo removed after college. It was more costly and more painful than the tattoo itself, but my father had won his case. Not all cases were won at home, I have to say. At dinner one night, I spoke out against guns, advocating for stricter gun control laws. My dad, who grew up hunting, disagreed. But rather than arguing, days later, actually, I received a a membership card to the National Rifle Association. Yes, I was a proud member of Charleston Heston's organization. I soon began receiving numerous gun catalogs selling all sorts of explosives, including hand grenades. The best part of it, I began receiving bumper stickers. I heart guns, fight crime, shoot back. If anyone has seen the back of my black Prius, you will know that I actually won this case. I was not persuaded. I am not a member of the National Rifle Association. My dad doesn't have to win cases, he just enjoys trying them, and this was an example of that. My dad's life lessons go beyond needing a sense of humor. One of my favorite life moments with my dad, and there have been many, was when my parents came to visit me in Florence, Italy, where I was studying. As we entered the Accademia to see Michelangelo's David, my dad became transfixed by these amazing sculptures called the captives. And for those of you who haven't seen the captives, they're these gigantic slabs of marble, and figures are twisting their way out of them. I explained to my dad, as an art historian, that these were unfinished works, that Michelangelo got frustrated with them and abandoned them, and he had miscalculated the space of the marble. And my dad said, I don't believe that. He goes, this is what life's about. It is about that struggle. It is about bursting through that piece of marble to really define yourself as a human being. And I bought it. I totally agree with his art historian. I had an art historian from Harvard tell me that, and I believe my dad more than that. But his feeling really remains that it's through life's difficult challenges that we really grow as human beings. And we need to face challenges in order to do just that. And that's what you lawyers do every day. You take on challenges, and you take those challenges and you create them into works of art. There have been countless times when one of my siblings and I have come to my dad when life hasn't gone exactly as planned. My father has always been quick to encourage us to take on the challenge of that situation, to see these setbacks as not the end, but just a process to work through. And he's really always encouraging us to take these trap situations and turn them into works of art. Very recently, I saw my dad sitting in this corner of the house that he always sits in preparation for a trial. And it was a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and he's sitting there with what looked like a giant piece of marble on his lap. It was a deposition, and he sat there completely focused. He was slowly chipping away at life's present challenge. Like Michelangelo, he was slowly sculpting his ideas, forming his arguments, and allowing the thoughts to emerge. He does this with an artist's focus, losing track of time, blocking out all other distractions, including on this particular day, several grandchildren running around the room where he was working and banging on the piano. The reason I've never appreciated lawyer jokes is that my dad is much more of an artist than a punchline. Before I call him up, I just want to acknowledge that I am only one of 6 great kids that he has. So I'd love for my siblings to stand up, and their spouses as well. If you ask best time in his life, I have no doubt that he would say, right now. And he would have said this 10 years ago, 25 years ago, 45 years ago. That's just the way he is. He loves every day and every moment. And so right now, I would like to call up my amazing father, David O'Keefe.